Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today, we're taking a really fascinating plunge into the world of language acquisition. Specifically, we're looking through the lens of a set of source materials called Mastering English Step by Step. We've got this fantastic collection of, well, articles, research, some really insightful notes that lay out a pretty clear, actionable path to English proficiency.
It looks quite comprehensive.
It really does. So our mission today is, pretty straightforward. We're going to carefully unpack the methods in these excerpts.
Okay.
We want to identify the most effective techniques for building that proficiency and, crucially, uncover the deeper why behind their structured approach.
Right, the methodology itself.
Exactly.
Yep.
So whether you're just starting your English learning journey, maybe refining current skills, or, just curious about what makes language learning tick, this deep dive should offer you some practical takeaways and maybe some surprising insights into structured learning, too.
I think that's a great way to frame it. What really stands out about this material, I think, is how deliberate it is. It's comprehensive, yes, but very intentional.
Intentional in what way?
Well, it doesn't just throw information at you. It guides you through this progressive process and this kind of structured step-by-step approach. It isn't just about, say, piling up vocabulary words.
Okay.
It feels meticulously designed to, well, significantly speed up learning and, maybe most importantly, to build genuine confidence right from the start.
Building confidence early on.
Yeah, think of it like building a house, brick by carefully placed brick, solid foundation.
Okay, let's unpack that right from the start then. The source material kicks off with something called warm-up conversation practice. It focuses on really simple, everyday English phrases.
The basics.
Yeah, like, good morning, how are you today? Or, could you please help me with this? Well, it almost feels, well, a bit too simple for a deep dive, maybe. Why start there?
That's a fair question, but the strategic advantage is actually immense. What's key here is the deliberate approach, even in these simple warm-ups.
How so?
Well, the instruction is specific. First, say the phrase slowly, then repeat it at normal speed, and then it encourages you, the listener, to repeat it.
Okay. The repetition.
Right. But it's not just rote memorization, which, often doesn't stick. It's about building immediate oral fluency, getting your mouth actually moving and making the sounds.
So physical practice.
Exactly. You're learning how to physically produce the words in a comfortable, low-pressure way. It sort of bypasses that initial stage fright many learners feel.
And it even includes a tiny practice conversation like, hi, how are you today?
Yeah.
Then I'm fine, thank you. How about you? It gets you talking immediately.
Right away, yeah. And, the specific call out for the sound in thank you, that's quite telling.
The tricky thing.
It really is. It highlights that focusing on pronunciation right from the beginning, even with simple phrases, is crucial. It's like setting the proper form when you're learning a sport.
Oh, good analogy.
If you don't get the basics right early, you risk, baking in mispronunciations that get really hard to fix later. So this focused practice, it lays a vital groundwork for practical and, importantly, understandable communication. And you can absolutely apply this repetitive, focused practice to other basic phrases, too.
Building muscle memory for your mouth.
Precisely. Making sure your words land clearly.
It does remind me of learning guitar. If you don't get the finger placement right on day one...
You'd be fighting it forever.
Exactly. The sound is like that tricky F chord.
It absolutely is. A perfect analogy. Get that foundation solid, avoid headaches later.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. So from warming up our vocal cords, the material dives into building our lexicon, the vocabulary boost segment.
Expanding the word bank.
The idea is 10 new words designed for immediate use. And the source details a very specific method, like take opportunity. It says chance. Then the example, this podcast is a great opportunity to learn English. Or improve, meaning make better, like I want to improve my speaking skills. Then confident, habit, polite, each with meaning, example, and spelling.
Yes, and the structure there is really insightful. It uses what cognitive scientists sometimes call desirable difficulty. It's not just giving you the word.
Desirable difficulty.
Yeah.
How does that work here?
Well, it's multi-layered. You hear the word, you see it spelled, you get the meaning, you hear it in context in a sentence. And crucially, there's that pause after each step.
Repetition.
For repetition, exactly. It encourages you to repeat it aloud.
Yeah.
So it's not just about getting the word into your brain passively, it's actively forcing retrieval across different pathways.
Seeing it, hearing it, understanding it, saying it.
Right. It's like a mini workout for your memory, as you said earlier. That active engagement is key. This multi-layered approach, it combines auditory, visual, semantic understanding, context, plus repetition.
Much better than flashcards alone, then.
Oh, much more effective for actually solidifying vocabulary than just simple memorization. It might feel a bit more effortful in the moment.
Sure.
But the research shows it pays off hugely in long-term retention. And importantly, making that word available for spontaneous use, not just recognizing it.
Like building a stronger web for each word.
That's a great way to put it. A mental spider web, exactly. More connections, sight, sound, meaning use the stronger the web, the less likely it is to slip away when you need it.
So you listeners can adopt this approach too. Make those words stick and become truly usable.
Definitely. It ensures words become part of your active vocabulary.
Okay, now grammar. For many learners, this is often the toughest part. Sometimes the most interesting, but definitely challenging.
The rules can feel abstract sometimes.
Right. And the source material here tackles the present simple versus present continuous tenses. That's a really common sticking point, isn't it?
Yeah.
Why is nailing this difference so critical?
It absolutely is a common stumbling block. And the why, it goes beyond just, avoiding simple mistakes. The source clearly defines present simple for habits or facts. Example, I eat breakfast at 7 a.m. every day.
Okay, routine.
And then present continuous for actions happening right now.
Yeah.
I am eating breakfast right now. And importantly, it moves straight into practice.
Asking you to decide the tense for sentences like, she plays the guitar every weekend, versus they're playing football right now. So it's not just understanding the rule, but applying it immediately. What's the deeper significance there?
Well, the deeper significance, I think, is about combating something linguists call fossilization of errors.
Fossilization. Sounds serious.
It can be. Without a clear distinction early on, your brain might kind of blend these two tenses. And that can lead to deeply ingrained mistakes that become incredibly hard to unlearn later.
Ah, okay.
So by explicitly contrasting them, present simple here, present continuous there, the source forces your brain to build two distinct mental models.
Which are pathways in the brain.
Exactly. Clean, separate neural pathways for each tense right from the start. It prevents that automatic blending that causes those persistent errors. It moves you from just theory to practical discernment. That's where real comprehension happens.
Because mixing them up changes the meaning entirely.
Completely. Think about it. If you say, I am working every day, instead of I work every day, or vice versa, I work right now, you're not just sounding a bit off.
You're giving wrong information.
Precisely. Nailing this distinction lets you paint a much clearer picture. Describing habits, telling a story, explaining what's happening now, it boosts clarity and confidence immensely, makes your communication precise and, well, natural sounding.
Building distinct mental models to avoid fossilized errors. That really underlines the importance of getting it right early.
Absolutely. It really pays dividends long term.
Okay, so beyond the formal lessons, the structured practice, the source material also offers some really clever tips for weaving English into everyday life.
Taking it outside the classroom.
Right. Ensuring learning isn't just confined to a textbook or a study session. What are some of these practical suggestions?
These are great because they leverage the power of consistent, low-stakes engagement. The source suggests things like listening to English songs, but actively trying to understand the lyrics.
Not just background noise.
Exactly. Watching English movies with subtitles and maybe paying attention to how they match up. Speaking English with friends or even with yourself.
Self-talk. Does it really help?
It really does. And keeping a diary in English. Making a habit of learning, say, 5 new words daily and actually using them in a sentence.
So it's about constant, subtle exposure and active engagement all day long. What's the cognitive benefit of that kind of ambient learning?
Well, the genius here is creating that immersive environment, even if you're not physically in an English-speaking country. These tips turn passive consumption, like just having music on, into active learning.
Okay.
Trying to get the lyrics, noticing subtitles, that turns entertainment into a learning opportunity. And the self-talk or diary idea, that leverages your own internal thoughts.
A private practice space.
Exactly. A private, judgment-free practice space in your own head. It's about taking ownership beyond the lessons. This consistent, low-stakes engagement, small, repeated efforts, that's what really accelerates progress.
Makes it less of a chore.
Right. More a natural part of your rhythm. Your brain processes and solidifies the language without feeling overwhelmed. So for you listening, which of these could you implement today? Even one small change done consistently.
Could make a big difference.
It really can. Creates a snowball effect.
The self-talk idea is still intriguing, like a free, always available conversation partner.
Exactly. And one who's endlessly patient with you.
Right. Okay, so to round out this whole learning cycle, the source includes a mini listening exercise, crucial for real-world application.
Mm-hmm. Testing comprehension.
It presents a short paragraph, like this one about Maria. Maria wakes up early every morning, she drinks coffee, reads the news, and then goes for a walk in the park. Right now, she is talking to her friend on the phone.
Okay, simple scenario.
And then, crucially, it follows up with specific questions. Not just, did you hear that word? But deeper questions like, what does Maria drink every morning? What does she do in the park? And what is she doing right now?
Ah, linking back to the grammar point.
Exactly. The broader implication is how brilliantly this combines listening comprehension with that very grammar distinction we just talked about. Habitual actions versus actions happening now.
Precisely. It's an immediate, practical test. Are you just hearing words? Or are you processing the information, discerning the tense, separating present simple from present continuous in context?
And the questions force recall.
Active recall, yes. Vital for cementing understanding. It pushes you past just hearing to actually understanding and processing spoken English in real time.
Which is the goal, right?
That's the ultimate goal for effective, spontaneous communication.
Wow.
Exercises like this hone your ability to understand meaning quickly and accurately in natural conversations. It bridges that gap between structured lessons and, well, real life.
Okay, so pulling it all together, what does this mean for sustainable language learning? The source wraps up this structured deep dive with a valuable recap and naturally some homework.
Brings it full circle, yeah. And the homework outlined is very specific, very purposeful. Practice today's phrases with a friend. Write 5 sentences in present simple and 5 in present continuous. Use at least 3 new words in your sentences, and it's framed with encouragement. Keep practicing and stay confident.
And the key observation is that this isn't just busy work, right? It's direct application.
Exactly. This is where the knowledge gets integrated, becomes usable. It's not a checklist. It's a bridge from passive intake to active output.
Making you use the language.
Forcing you to engage meaningfully. Apply the new vocab, the grammar, practice the phrases. This structured reinforcement is absolutely crucial for moving concepts from short-term memory into long-term retention.
And into active fluency.
That's the key. It's the difference between knowing about English and actually using English effectively.
So we've journeyed through mastering English step by step. It really does highlight these core pillars: foundational conversation practice, systematic vocabulary building, clear grammar understanding, real-life integration, active listening.
A solid roadmap.
It really feels like a well-constructed roadmap for consistent, measurable progress.
Yeah, and zooming out a bit, the bigger picture here. What this mastering English step by step really demonstrates is that consistent, structured engagement across multiple ways of learning, listening, speaking, reading, writing, that's the most reliable path to fluency.
Not grand gestures.
No, not cramming or anything like that. It's about the accumulated power of small, deliberate steps, each one building on the last, creating this robust, resilient understanding.
So a final thought for our listeners.
Well, considering all these diverse strategies we've touched on today, here's something to think about. What's one area from this deep dive, just one thing, that you could commit to practicing daily for, say, just the next week?
Just one small thing.
Just one. And how might that single focused action maybe change your entire perception of your English learning journey?
That's an excellent thought to chew on. Tangible first step. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into mastering English step by step.
My pleasure.
Keep that curiosity alive, keep applying what you've learned today, and most importantly, keep enjoying the journey. Until next time.